All right, so I want to use Desmos to look at the graph here real quick. Well, let's make it big so we can really look at it. So we can plug in some values. You can see there is that y-intercept that we figured out. There's the two x-intercepts we figured out. I went in and I threw in the graph of the asymptote x plus 5, which is what we figured out when we were dividing everything out. And then I'm going to throw in the line y equals -2 here. Sorry, I don't want y equals -2. I want x equals -2. Let's do that one in a dashed line so that we can see it. All right, let's hide some of those points. We don't need to see them all. Okay, so we graph our first line here. We know it passes through the point. There's that 0, 2. There's that -1, 0. And then we know that as x approaches -2, we're going to get a asymptote here, so we're going to be approaching it that way. Now what happens, let's throw in a term here, like a trace. Let's plug in a number that's almost -2 from below. Oh, I jumped there. So right there, I'm almost at -2. That's at -2 point, I want to be below, 2 point negative 11 or -2.1. No, it looks like there's 209 negative. Now when I input that number, you can see that the output is positive. Now if I were to come further up here, let's hide this so we can just be tracing it. As you trace up this line, it's getting closer and closer to the asymptote of -2. And this is getting larger and larger and larger and larger as the output. You can see that. Okay, so if you were to check a number that was really close to the asymptote, you would see whether we were going down at that point along the vertical asymptote, or if we were going up, because the output would be positive or negative. Okay, and then here is that weird slant asymptote thing. And I think it's easier to see a slant asymptote, the results of a slant asymptote, as you pull away and look at it. So I'm going to hide this. Now we're looking at big numbers here. We're looking at -100, -200. When we're zoomed in down here, it didn't look so much like our graph of this function was trying to get to this asymptote line. But when you come back and you pull away and you look, you can really clearly see that this purple line, which represents the equation of the asymptote, and this rational function here are looking pretty similar as their output as we're going towards positive infinity and negative infinity. We'll come back in towards the center there. Right? When we're down here, it doesn't look so impressive, right? Doesn't look so cool. But again, as we come out, whoops, that's in. As you come out, you can see here's this kind of like a flying Y sort of thing. And then you've got it this way too. So here is that vertical asymptote. We've got our X and Y intercepts graphed, and then the horizontal slant, which is a result of having one bigger here than the power on this one. So watch out for that.